Hello, how's everybody doing out there? Talking shit Tuesday. That's right, coming at you, the OG show where all other gay podcasters want to cut into the what is it called, the SEO of the show to try to name their show something similar. Today, we're going to talk about, is Dodge actually trying to give you more options than any other manufacturer when it comes to a performance vehicle? A video was sent to me on X where a guy was like, check out this video from this guy who seems to have a lot of inside knowledge about the Charger. He talks about the Charger having such a crazy configurable option package that it makes me wonder if, because there are more options with the Charger, that it'll become more desirable. I'll go in depth on that specific situation because I think a lot of people are being short-sighted based on the EV model that came out. People think that's just how it's going to be. And I'm like, no, dickheads. It's no different than if Ford came out with like an EV model of something and then supplemented that going forward, because the plan all along with that car was to give it a bunch of options, and we could talk about all that stuff. That's pretty much what we're going to kind of concentrate on. A couple of other things going on, but nothing super crazy. Kind of a slow news day. Ford Mustang isn't really making any waves. I wish someone could bring up the sales figures on Mustang to see if it's still underselling last year. So that would be interesting. If in about a year or two, and the Mustang is still not tunable, if the Charger can actually overtake the Mustang in sales, that would be such a kick in the nuts. And the problem is this: Ford will actually include some of the Mustang Mach-E sales as part of the Mustang package because it's named Mustang, but they do separate that. But we'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. You know what doesn't suck? You know, I've been talking about this nonstop about how PMAS is the best cold air intake on the planet, and nobody listens. But now it looks like a lot of people are listening, and in the tuning queue, a lot of people are just buying PMAS intakes for no reason. And I love to see it. Love to see it. My video's dropping, telling you about math stuff. That seems to be working, so hopefully that can bleed down to the customer base. PMAS, Nick, James, PMAS, DNAP Performance, DNAPperformance.com. You want to get your PMAS cold air intake, you're going to get it from DNAPperformance.com. DNAP Performance, they pay their bill on time. You can get injectors, you can get wheels, tires, fuel systems, fuel pumps, any new part for anything. You can get it at DNAPperformance.com. They pay their bill, so I mentioned them. Parts Farm, partsfarm.com. Used Mustang, Camaro, late model vehicle parts, rolling chassis, complete pullouts, swap packages, crank-up pallets, over there at Parts Farm. Toyota Solution, Robinson Toyota Solution, Puerto Rico. Do you guys have electricity now? I think you guys have electricity. We'll see. Anyway, you want to get your late model car worked on in Puerto Rico, it's going to be Rami Zaidan, especially if you have a Mustang and Belak Industries. That's right, Belak Industries. If you sell drugs and you like it, clap your hands and get yourself a set of Belak so everyone in the neighborhood knows that you sell drugs. And as always, we want to thank richprint.com/YDBT. Guys, you're going to like the new shirt that they came out with. Mandip Singh, that's right, Mandip Singh, JD Swag, said, hey, you guys should come up with a shirt that, you know, praises the manual stuff. So we got Amory hats, YDBT hats, flat brim, and all the stuff. Section 8 shirts, Section 8 hoodies, Dolo Hush Money, 1320 Didios, F1320, and bam! Save the Manuals shirts in black, gray, military green, navy blue, red, royal blue, tan, and white. I'm going to get today royal blue, red, navy blue, and military green. Shit, maybe heavy metal. I'm going to spend $125 or more on shirts. These are gym shirts, baby. The heavy metal gray should be a color option on every shirt. So Save the Manual shirts is the new addition to the website, richbridge.com/YDBT. I'm going to be giving away two of those shirts, so polish up on your Star Trek trivia. We're giving away 2 shirts. Again, you got long sleeve, short sleeve, Dolo hoodies, everything. Eventually, they'll do a Save the Manual sticker too, but I think this thing's going to sell like hotcakes. It's going to be a bonanza. So hopefully, you guys pick up some cool Save the Manual shirts. I also told them that it's a good idea to have S550 15 to 17 noses and S550 18 to 23 noses. You know, Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 1. No 24s. Fuck the 24 Mustang. Fuck you if you like the 24 Mustang. I don't like you, so fuck off. Okay, let's say hi to the people out there, and then we'll show you about a 4-minute video that a guy outlines everything that's going to be happening with the Charger. Maybe you guys don't care, but I care. This is why. If there is no competition, the Ford Mustang is just going to stay complacent with its EcoBoost, GT, and the barely better Dark Horse. And then you're going to have to rely on Whipple-tuned shit if you want to do any upgrades until tuning, if ever, comes out. I don't see that happening. 5.0, Nick, Monty 540, Stuart D, D-Rock Fox, Z3, Camzilla, Frank Donahue, Tony the Truck Guy, Wesley Stewart, AZR, Paul Ponthieu, Dixon, RoboStyle, John Bonanno, El Verga Larga, T.J. Sikorsky, Joe Jackson, Mark Christian, Clint Stroke, excuse me, Anthony Rafferty, Jose Sanchez, Diego Flores, Valley Tensby, good morning, EPA, Mr. Cookie Man himself, Blue Thunder, Jeremy Smith, 94 GT Vert, Joshua Judd, Bryson Witt was active today. Bryson Witt and Tristan Amory were active. They weren't about that bullshit. They were out there doing some rogue shit. They went rogue. They didn't take any commands from the commander-in-chief. They just went rogue and did some shit, did some sniper work, and they got it done. Big Pops, Nick Perry, Big Pops, Kim Phillips, Grant Wilbur, Tevitt? Timmy T, Revit Racing, Magyar Low, One Slow, 2 Valve, Rich 5-0, Exxon Devil Dog, 6-Speed, RCSB, Frosh, JT, Bacho, D Hart, Connor was Rurinski, Ted, Frosty, 1 Slow, 2 Valve, Big Meech, Nat Jew, Chris Cobb, Kickflip, Toilet Dumper, Edwin Martinez, puro pinche, 9x6, a la verga, cuz, puro pinche,
9x6 a la verga, cuz.
Dustin Garrison, Willie, Squee, what the fuck is, I don't know that last name, Frosty, El Verga Larga, and all the usual suspects out there, guys. Bear with me for a little bit and listen to this. If you're listening in the garage, you're going to want to kind of listen to this video, and I'm going to show you guys the video. The video is from a guy named Marspeed. I'm going to pause it in between so I don't get copyright, but Marspeed talks about some pretty crazy stuff that the Charger might be doing, and I think it warrants a listen because at least they're trying some stuff that Ford is not.
Hey guys, here's another update as Dodge keeps pushing forward with the next generation Charger. First they released the Dodge Charger Daytona EV, and now this year the 6-pack gas versions will be out. We don't know every single detail yet, but we will go over everything we know so far about these 6-packs, including part of the new lineup that includes the Dodge Charger 6-pack GT and Outlaw. So let's get into the video. So according to a recent Stellantis Dealer Connect leak, we now know the names and more information about the new gas-powered Charger models.
So, right now you have the Scat Pack, which is the electric deal, but they're also going to be releasing the 6-pack, which is the inline-6 Hurricane motor, and look at all the variants that they're coming in. Scat Pack 2-door, Scat Pack 4-door, all-wheel drive, GT 2-door, GT all-wheel drive 4-door, all-wheel drive 2-door, all-wheel drive 4-door, Outlaw all-wheel drive 2-door, Outlaw all-wheel drive 4-door.
As they are available for pre-order from the dealers for the 2026 model year. The new models and engines are meant to be directly replacing the last generation RT and Scat Pack gas models. Not to be too confusing, but Dodge did decide to keep the RT and Scat Pack nameplates for the electric Daytona. The electric Daytona came out first last year. The gas-powered versions will be called the 6-pack, and that's coming this year. I've also tried to show as many pictures as I could of the 6-packs.
I don't know, those 2-doors don't look that bad, do they?
But there aren't many out yet, so I might show some Daytonas as well. So the new model names are actually GT and Outlaw 6-packs, with Dodge using these to differentiate between the standard output on the GT and the high output engine for the Outlaw. The GT was expected to be a base model rear-wheel drive option for the electric Charger Daytona. That would have been below the RT and the Scat Pack, but Dodge actually just chose to use GT for the gas-powered version instead. The GT will arrive first as a 4-door model, but it will get a 2-door version later on. The Outlaw is the opposite. It starts as the 2-door model and gets a 4-door option later.
So the Outlaw is the 520 horsepower Hurricane inline 6 twin turbo, and it starts as a 2-door. That's the one we got to look out for, and I'm hoping tuning is unlocked ASAP.
So going back to the two trim levels, for the GT, it's still an entry-level model using the 3-liter Hurricane inline 6 standard output engine. It also has all-wheel drive, just like all the 6-packs and Daytona models. We have now seen these engines under the hood of the Jeep Wagoneer, the Grand Wagoneer, and the Ram 1500 so far, so finally they are arriving for the Charger. The GT with the standard output Hurricane makes 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque, paired with an 8-speed 880RE automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. Both the GT and the Outlaw.
Okay, 8-speed. Thank you. And it is a ZF. That's right. Probably as good as the 8HP90.
Have that same 880 8-speed automatic, which is a 4th generation ZF transmission. These can be used with gas engines, mild hybrids, or plug-in hybrids. They also support...
Look at the torque rating. Up to 600 feet supports rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and 4x4 configurations.
Rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and 4x4 configurations. The torque rating on the transmissions is up to 600 pound-feet. In these Chargers, drivers can actually switch into rear-wheel drive mode to keep that authentic muscle car feel, something that you couldn't do on the older Charger RT all-wheel drive models.
Okay, very cool. So imagine you can buy a Outlaw 6-pack, 500 plus horsepower, 2-door, 8-speed, 4-wheel, and 2-wheel drive. You can switch from all-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive.
This does compete with the 2023 Charger RT, or replaces it, I guess you could say. So that had the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 with 370 horsepower and 395 pound-feet of torque. So the GT 6-pack has quite a big improvement of 50 horsepower, or 13.5% more, and 74 more pound-feet of torque, or 18.7% more. There is no information about performance times or fuel economy ratings yet, but with that kind of power and all-wheel drive, this GT should be able to perform similarly to a 6.4 liter Scat Pack, I'd say around 4.2 seconds from 0 to 60. The better model is the Outlaw, a name Dodge hasn't used before, but it's kind of in line with their brand image, trying to be one of the only modern day muscle cars. It's new, but it seems to fit well and gives these 6-packs a new identity. So far, I'm not sure what visual differences the Outlaw will have compared to the GT. The main draw to the Outlaw is that it uses the high output version of that Hurricane, this time with 550 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque.
Oh, I am incorrect. I apologize. 550 horsepower, 500 plus pound-feet of torque, twin turbo, inline 6, all-wheel drive, switchable to 2-wheel drive. I want to hear anybody complain about that.
The 2023's Charger Scat Pack that this competes with had the 6.4 liter Hemi with 485 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque. So the Outlaw adds 13.4% more horsepower, up by 65, and 9.7% more torque, up by 46 pound-foot. I'm not quite sure what kind of performance times this will put down, but I don't think it'll be quick as the 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 that the Daytona Charger EV Scat Pack can do. Just to speak a bit about the design and the visuals of the 6-pack, this look is very similar to the Daytona EV, and at first glance it's hard to tell the difference between the two. The gas Charger does have a different hood. The EV has a cutout where the grille is, what Dodge calls a front R-wing. Dodge says this is a call-out to the original Charger Daytona design, while also enabling air to flow through a front pass-through area, enhancing downforce while creating a unique visual profile. The 6-pack does have a different look, first with a mail slot, as well as 2 intakes on either side of that illuminated Fratsog logo, probably to allow air to flow past the radiators that's needed to cool the twin-turbo engine.
What a wonderful channel. There is so much information on this video that I really appreciate the fact that he went. I don't want to just play it all the way through to like steal his video, but I'm trying to like break it up and give him a little bit of a rep, but he doesn't need it. The guy is doing a great job.
There's also a vent on the bulging hood with 6-pack engraved in there. The gas model also has a dual exhaust, and I expect it to have similar wheels and tires to the Daytona, which went as big as 20 by 11.5 inch rear wheels with 325/35 ZR20 tires with 6 piston calipers.
Jeez.
The 2 and 4-door models feature the same wheelbase, with the 4-door having smaller front doors to allow room for the rear doors that should ease access to the rear seats. The 6-pack interior should be quite similar to the Daytona, with a standard 12.3 inch central touchscreen, as well as a 10.3 inch digital gauge cluster with the option to upgrade to a 16 inch screen. There's also interior ambient lighting with 64 available colors, a retro pistol grip shifter, and the gas-powered models will feature Charger branding on the dashboard instead of Daytona branding.
The brother's gonna eat this shit up. The brothers are gonna be like, man, this thing got 64 colors.
So that's mostly all we know at this point about the new 6-pack Chargers. This is only part of the lineup, as there should be the full one announced at some point soon. We also are still waiting for a Hellcat comparable top performance model, whether that be for the Daytona, 6-pack, or both.
Wow. Now imagine, we'll end the video there. So a lot of information to break down in that video. By the way, I want to give a huge shout out because I'm trying to do it so he doesn't, copyright the shit out of it. The channel is called, let me get the chat out of there. The channel is called Marspeed. I'll give him a sub. So he, just to try to bribe him so he doesn't put a big old copyright strike on it. But let's talk about everything he broke down. That is a wonderfully laid out video. 6 minutes. Facts. So you have the Dodge Daytona Charger, which is the EV model. That is going to be the quickest 0 to 60. But then you're going to have a GT model that's going to have a standard output 6-pack, which is a Hurricane motor with 400 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, 420, 440, or whatever it is. Then you're going to have the what is it called? I forgot the name of the faster one. Outlaw, 550 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque, 500 from their 6-pack, 400 from the GT 6-pack. You already have the EV that dusted the ever-living shit out of the Mustang. And you have switchable 4-wheel drive, just like a truck, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive in an 8-speed ZF modern transmission, which we all know on this channel. I have been a huge advocate of swapping 8 HPs into stuff. If I could swing it, I'd do it all day, every day. I would try it on stuff. But right now, I don't have any candidate to swap an 8 HP into anything. Maybe the Fairmont, but then that doesn't make any sense. Let's be honest. But all-wheel drive Hurricane inline 6, which people have already tuned in the RHO, in the Wagoneer, it's already out there. So you don't think it's going to have similar architecture, and maybe tuning will be opened up sooner than later? So imagine end of 2025 into model year 2026, you're going to start seeing deliveries of the 6-pack Outlaw 500 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive coupes first. You really don't think tuners are going to hop on that thing and have it running low 11s ASAP with no extra bullshit? And then all of a sudden you're going to go, well, what's the price going to be? Is it going to be $80,000? Is it going to be $90,000? Well, if they wanted to sell, I sure as hell hope not. But if this car is anywhere in the 50s or 60s, hell, if the GT being 400 can run an 11.5, 11.6 with a little help, and maybe with tuning and race gas, dip into the 10s, and the GT being the lesser option, having a price point of about $50,000, that's a winner because the GT Mustang is doing that. The thing is, though, that car has a leg up on everything. Their shittiest model has 400 horsepower. Then the electric model is the quickest 0 to 60. Then the Outlaw has 500, 550, 500. Then you have to wait for the Hellcat variant. What you guys have heard rumors of 426s or whatever equivalent Hemis showing back up at Dodge. You and I both know they probably still have assembly lines ready and capable to shove 420 somethings in it. But imagine it is all-wheel drive. Every single one of these cars seems to be 4-wheel drive. So imagine you have I can't imagine you're going to rip the shit out of axles and stuff. But imagine you have actually, I think the Hurricane might be more of a torque monster than the 426 would be if it's a Hemi variant or a Hellcat variant. I can't imagine they're going to shove Hellcat motors that have 800 plus horsepower in an all-wheel drive platform. If they do. Now, I think, to be honest, I think what should happen, I know I'm going to say it. You're sick of me. You're sick of me saying it. Hybrid. That's right. I think you should have the acceleration of the EV and the power of the gas in an all-wheel drive platform. But how heavy is that going to be? How heavy is it going to be if they actually start making hybrid Charger. It's going to be 5,000, 6,000 pounds. It'll be ridiculous. But it'll be interesting that Dodge has more options. EV, 400 horsepower GT, 500 horsepower, I can't even remember the fucking name, Outlaw, and then whatever Hellcat variant comes out. What does Ford have? EcoBoost, GT, Dark Horse, which is a wash. And then the supposed GT500 coming down the pipeline, which we all know will not be all-wheel drive. If it's all-wheel drive, there is more of a chance that the new GT500 will have a stupid pushrod Godzilla in it or some variant thereof, like a 6.8 version or something. What do you think about the new 6.8 liter Mustang? Then all-wheel drive. Now, if Ford somehow gets a hair up their ass and makes an all-wheel drive Mustang and something cool with the GT500, I think they might have a winner. But if tuning is not available, it does not matter. It'll fall on deaf ears. Nobody will give a shit. Nobody will give a shit. Because they're going to go, well, I can tune the Hurricane now. I don't want to shove a fucking Whipple on it. I don't get, like the Raptor R right now, the only thing you can do from stock is shove a fucking Whipple tune in it with a Whipple supercharger in it. Like, out of all things that you want to do to a Raptor R, one of them is not shoving a 3.8 Whipple on it with a Whipple calibration. Let's be honest. You just keep the bitch stock. So imagine you bought a $100,000+ truck because you were hoping tuning was going to come out, and you've made 1 year of payments. That's right, $12,000 or $13,000 worth of payments, and tuning is no closer on the horizon on the Raptor R, the GT, and if a GT500 or a Cobra or a Boss comes out, you and I both know that's also not going to be tunable for a very long time. Do you care? I don't think many people here care, because I think a lot of people here are more likely to buy a BMW, because this Charger stuff seems to be more in line with BMW competition than Mustang competition. Mustang might be so bad that Dodge doesn't even consider it competition, and they want to steal people that are going to be like, well, I got $60,000 to spend on a sports car. Am I going to get a BMW and get a lab coat with a straight six, all-wheel drive, really pretty, really nice interior, but the brothers might steal it, or the brothers might steal it and it's a Dodge. It'll be one of the more interesting things that comes out. And there will not be a 1,000 horsepower Mustang from Ford ever. Take that to the bank. The only way Ford can afford to put 1,000 horsepower on anything is if they literally rip off Dodge and offer a vehicle that has the capability of running E85. No fucking way will it be stock. Still would rather an M2 over those. I agree. The more I get out there and see the M2, the more I like it. Not as a drag racer, not as a full build car, but as a fun daily or a fun toy. Manual. I don't care about drag racing that. I got plenty of cars to drag race. I got Donnie, I got the GT500. Eventually I'll have the Corvette. Oh my God, this thing has been the bane of my existence. Making an adapter. This little adapter is what's going to make the clutch work. Goes into the crank, pilot bushing, 1 inch long. I need this made, but in different dimensions. And getting a hold of a machine shop, good luck. But I have Jeff Gerko on it, but I still need to have conversations with a machine shop that's willing to work with me, because I'm not the holdup in that whole situation. First year of any engine is going to have issues. Engine ECT seemed to be rushed into production since 2020. Mr. King, the Hurricane has been out on the Wagoneer. The Hurricane is out on the RHO Ram. The Hurricane has been out for a while. It is not the first year of any engine. It's going to be a track-focused track weapons, aka something no one asked for. Give us 1320 package everyone wants. Aren't the old Hellcats already like 5,000 pounds? Yeah, but imagine you have all-wheel drive. And look, let's say you want to race. In an alternate universe, let's say you have a Hellcat with all-wheel drive. Challenger. Couch. And you take off from a light, and it does a 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. It runs a quarter mile in a mid to low 10 on the street. And you can just shut off 4-wheel drive and slide on the ops in 2-wheel drive. Wouldn't you want that? I would want that. The biggest issue with the Hellcats is they don't hook on the street for shit. every single video you see of a Hellcat anything going up against anything, it just blazes tire or has a real tough time hooking. But let's say you have switchable four-wheel drive, just like a truck, like an F-150, literally like an F-150, and a Hellcat just hooks from a dig and it's gone. You would buy it in a heartbeat. It's no different than an F-150. Wouldn't you want to have a 45? How much is, how heavy is a F-150? High 5,000s? So, or mid 5,000s? Or high 4,000s? Imagine you have an 800 horsepower, 850 horsepower F-150, four-wheel drive launches. Wouldn't you want that in a Hellcat? So imagine you have the ability to tune the Hurricane Outlaw, four-wheel drive, E50 blend with your lab coat, and get after it, and be able to switch it off and do slide jobs after you steal it and go to an intersection in Miami and do takeovers. Like on BMWs, can you switch on the four-wheel drive and off in two-wheel drive? I don't think so, right? I think they either come two-wheel drive or come all-wheel drive. Am I wrong on that? I could be wrong because I don't know shit about BMW stuff, but I don't think you can just switch it off like you can on a GTR. Actually, I don't know if you can switch it off on a GTR. I don't know either. I don't know a lot of things. I just know Mustang stuff. I don't pretend to know. That's why I asked the audience. It is an interactive show for a reason. 4,500-pound track weapon. Jeff Kirko will be back in his office tomorrow. Got an email from him yesterday. I've been waiting to hear from him also. He's a busy guy. What he's going to do, he's going to get me a bearing that's a smaller OD. Basically, the bearing has to be this. Look, that's what I need. A bearing has to be this OD and this ID. I'm sorry, the sleeve. I already got the bearing. The bearing's coming tomorrow. So if I can make this same diameter, 1 inch long, and have the bearing press fit into it with this ID, boom, I have my spacer and I'm ready to party. Old Hellcat's at 4,500 pounds, but this is the new chassis. Trackhawk and TRX got the parts. Yep, if it's tunable and cheaper, BMW, it will do well. Right, if it's tunable and cheaper, the BMW, it will absolutely do well. Kenneth Gwynn giving me a whole bunch of money. Why'd you do that? I appreciate you very much. Give me $50. That's the best way to support the channel, is give me money. Why are so many poverty people in the car game? Welcome. Remember I talked to you guys that this hobby attracts the biggest scumbags in the industry? Most race car guys are broke. The fast guys that you see out there, the really fast guys that are very visual, do you think any of them are rolling in dough? The ones that are, you go, probably not legit. But the ones that are really vocal, really out there, showing you all their stuff, look at what I got, look at what I got. Those guys, the way they make their money is probably shenanigans, or they're broke-ass motherfuckers and they've mortgaged their futures just to go racing. Racing attracts two types. Engineering types, or people that are gambling types, shenanigans, weird stuff, broke mentality. I love racing, but I'm not an engineer, and I'm not exactly broke, but I'm not rolling in dough either. I just don't like racing that much to be able to mortgage the next 5, 6, 10 years of my life to make a race. And let's talk about that. If you are on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you have seen people are trying to make this race I've never heard of, but apparently people think it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. Is streetcar bragging rights. Never heard of it. Sorry. Never heard of it. Pfft. Sorry. I've heard of 2K, FL, TX, and World Cup. Those are the ones that are on my radar. For whatever reason, people are talking about this race. And so, if you want to get ready for a big race, you should be tested and done months before the race is ready to go. Tested and ready to run a month, at least a month out. If it's a fresh build, at least a month out. This weird thrashing and being excited to thrash and get the car to the track untested and thinking that's cool, I am so happy I don't think that way. I go, I'm not going to make it. I'll make it next year. Carlos Vergara, shout out to Valley 10-Speed. He went to TX2K this year. He goes, I'm bored. I'm going to go to TX2K. Hung out with the Luns, met some people. and he got the bug. And you know what he saw? He saw Billy badass cars at TX2K. And he's like, next year, I'm making TX2K. And you know when he's working on it? Right now. That's right. He's building the car now. The event is in March. So, I fully expect them to have a Turbo 400 in that car, twin turbos, built motor, tested and ready by December. And then you put that bitch under a cover, get your money up, get a trailer, and start getting ready for a big long road trip to Texas 2K and do the best you can. There is this weird thrashing culture that thinks it's cool to show up to a track with the last nut barely on the thread and saying, yeah, let's go racing. For what? For what reason? Don't you want to show your best ability at a racetrack? Don't you want to do the best as possible? Or is a win showing up? A win is not showing up. A win is racing to win. Anything else but that is losing. Anything else but that is losing. This is racing. First to the finish line wins. Last man standing wins. That is winning. Unless you're going to show up to win, no offense, people, don't show up. But if thrashing at the last minute to get something ready is part of like the game, I'm so glad I'm not in that game. No fucking thank you. I don't want to know anything about that thought process. Oh, we got a race tomorrow. You want to stay up till 3 in the morning? I got a bunch of Pabst Blue Ribbons and a bunch of Coke. Let's go. Let's thrash this car together. For what? Stop it. When I drive down Bayshore Boulevard and I look in the driveways, it's all 10 to 15-year-old Camrys. Rich people don't waste money on cars. That's a great point. That's a great point. Rich people, see, there are people in the car culture that do this. Oh, Alex doesn't have a Lambo, so he must be broke. I drive a Cadillac everywhere I go. I have the S197 Donnie, I have the S197 GT500, Section 8, both running. And the Corvette's there and the Fairmont's there. If I wanted to show you I was popping, I would have gotten something that you think it's cool. But luckily, I don't live through you, homo. I'm this old Cadillac. I don't give a shit. Just drive it around. It's a great little car. That thing's my most reliable vehicle. So rich people dress like shit. They don't give a fuck about what you think, and they got money in the bank. Do you think rich people race? No. Broke people race. Broke mentality people race a lot. Or engineering types, high end, guys that want to compete against the best there is because their engineering mindset wants it to be competitive. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Drag Queen Drags, they all watch too many episodes of Overhauling. Overhauling? Yes. Or even those home builder shows. You ever see those home builder shows where they're like, we're going to build you a house in 1 week? I never watched those shows. I thought those shows were so fucking stupid. I went, why would I want to move into a house that's been built in a week? Like, how many nails did you forget to put on the shingles? How many missing tiles, missing boards, missing joists, missing drywall? Fuck out of here, stupid. The rush builds are the ones that blow up on the line and don't make one pass down the track. And this is what you hear from them. How many times have you seen it? You guys are on Facebook and Instagram, right? Some nobody recognizes in the history of recognition posts a vomit post of how he worked so hard to get there. First off, I want to thank my wife. She allows me to do. Second, I want to thank my dog for being my loyal companion in the garage. Third, I want to thank, and they tag these people. I want to thank my daughter, Beatrice, and my son Cameron, like every white boy's name got a son named Cameron, Jaden, because, I'm showing him that work ethic. Unfortunately, when we got there untested, I released the trans brake and I forgot to put the drive shaft in it. Ring! Oh, the drive shaft! So, it's all about the journey. No. In racing, it's about winning. There is no fucking journey. It's about winning. And if you don't win, fuck you, don't post nothing. Better luck next year. BTLNY. That's what you should post on your big vomit. Before you think everyone's going to give you a clap because you tried, nobody cares that you tried. Everybody cares that you win. There are no participation trophies in racing. There are winner trophies. Winner! Do you participate? No. So, if you do that and that's what you want to do, no problem. Shout out to you. If you're such a hardcore racer that you think the journey is cool and you think staying up late, smoking 50 fucking cigarettes, drinking and driving across the country for 26 hours, getting there untested, getting in the car hungover, drunk, and lack of sleep because that's safe. And, letting over a button and puking the trans guts out on the starting line and you calling that some kind of win? Holy shit. I want nothing to do with you. My God. Yeah, that Brett can say anything he wants. The dude does nothing but win when he shows up, or at least is in the top competitive field. But I see these guys nonstop post. I'm like, boy, just shut the fuck up. Just post when you win. Jesus. First of all, I want to thank everyone that supported me with that year, blah, blah, blah. My dog Skippy, my son Cameron. I'm ducking to avoid stray bullets right the fuck now. Yeah. I hope you don't be like, well, guys, this is what happened. Men don't do that. Men are not emotional. Men just do shit. If you fail, you go, fuck, I'll get him next time. But no, these guys are out there posting like women. Stop posting. Nobody cares. My favorite is when someone does a vomit post and then there's 3 comments 6 days later. And it's from the people he tagged. His son, his dog, and his parakeet. And I'm like, wow. Well, who are you talking to? $35,000 to $40,000 fun stick daily. $35,000 to $40,000 fun stick daily? Daily? A daily stick shift car. Daily. It's not a Mustang. Slow99 says, I plugged my boost controller backwards, made 60 PSI on the two-step, but at least I made it to the event. Hey, guys, I really want to thank all the help. I want to thank my sponsors. That's the best. I want to thank my sponsors, Mickey Thompson. They don't care. Weld, you bought them. Blah, 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 turbos. You bought them, too. These people stand right behind me, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have blown them at the line the first test and tune on Wednesday. Wait, what? You're making a thank you post, and you only made it to test and tune on Wednesday on the track rental? Boy, it's a win. Some people need validation because their parents didn't give it to them. Validation. That is a very good point. The wanting validation. Now I get it. Some people might go, Alex, you do the same thing. Well, okay, if you think so, that's fine. I'm not going to fight you. I try to provide a service and to make you laugh. But I'll be fucking damned if someone is going to write a vomit post that's like a book. First of all, I hate to read. I hate it. Say it to me. I don't. Just let's go. I don't need to read all your bullshit. And then the spelling errors on half of these fucks. I go, fuck, I got to sit there and read through these spelling errors. Actually, every time I see a vomit post, I know how retarded you are because of the typos. Oh, man. I'm in touch with my feminine side deal. Leave me alone. I have purple wheels, for fuck's sake. I love you. Yeah, look, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. Men should not wear anything purple. Let's just say that. This is not purple. This is blue. Fuck you. Yeah, I want to thank Motion Raceworks for the cash can I bought from them. I want to thank TBM Brakes for the brakes I never got to use because I blew up at the starting line. Oh, got more hashtags and money. A lot of people think that sponsorships equal hashtags. If you're not winning, you are not doing a service to the sponsor. I repeat. If you are not winning a race with their product, you are not doing a service to the sponsor. I'll tell you guys a quick story. So I I'm very observant. Okay. I very much pay attention to people, their movements, their facial, cues. I love to people watch. It's a hobby. So we were at World Cup with the Grey Goose the year it won. And the Grey Goose has these turbos mounted under and they're turned in a little bit. Now, the Grey Goose is in the semifinals. And two representatives from Precision go up to the car, look at the turbos, and one guy goes, "Not our turbos." Not our turbos. Because those people are the first ones to do this, right? If, let's say, a Starlet, a Honda, anybody wins with their turbos, they hijack their fucking car in the post. We want to give a shout out to blah, 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 because he's running our twin blah, 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 blah. Why don't you push them before? Hey, we want to wish our Precision name your part racer on his upcoming event. No, it's Johnny come lately with these guys. It is whoever wins fucking matters. Hashtagging after blowing up at the line on the Wednesday test and tune does not matter. And I'm not singling anyone out. I am just literally giving out an example. So if someone just happens to blow up on a Wednesday at the starting line and then they do a vomit pose, that's on you. That is manifesting destiny at this point. So when I saw him do that, he was like, "Not our turbo, man. It's not our turbo. Fuck him." I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't matter unless you win. So I always wonder why people hashtag shit you bought. I bought my Bell Axe. He gave me a bit of a discount, so I put him up on here. I bought my Bell Axe. I mean, Magnuson gave me a blower. So I go out there and I do a rip and I put a time up. Look, a low compression illuminator ran this number, Magnuson supercharger. So there is a outcome. It's not like, hey, I went to the car show and hashtag Magnuson. No, look, it went 5. It went 5, 60 to 130 on a 2.7 upper. Now we're going to shoot for 4s with a 20%. Results-driven representation. Nope, now people are hashtagging their losses. It's crazy stuff. Crazy work. I'm not gay, but 20 is 20. Not me. Fastest yellow Chevy Corvette made in June on Welds in Florida. People watching is my favorite public outing. Connor says, best daily that's modern stick is anything Ford hatchback, ST, or Japanese. Take claim for your win. Yes. Look, let's say, for instance, okay, if a sponsor has your back, I think the sponsor should be shouting you out all the time, not just when you're winning. When you're winning, losing, participating, whatever you want to do. But it is results driven, and that's what they care about now. So, before you type up that long, stupid post, did you win anything? No? Hit backspace. Go on about your life. Nobody cares. Nobody watched that. The only people that care is maybe your mother, your family, your kids, and maybe your friends. But the sponsor is not sitting there going, well, at least he hashtags us when he blew up in the water box. Nobody cares. Glad you're okay. I run VS Racing Turbos on my Precision sponsor and pocket the remaining 52,346. 1320 Didio says the new motion shifter is the reason he went 6. Oh my God. Let me stop. Because let's say you do this, right? This piggybacking really does piss me off. Because there are racers out there that are badass motherfuckers that don't get sponsored anything. And these guys are legit racers. They get after it. They're psycho. And a lot of them win a lot, and it's all their money. So then when they win, that's when people want to That's when the Caravan shows up. That's when the sponsor Caravan shows up. Hey man, I saw that you won something with your own money and skill. Mind if we send you a set of blah blah blahs? Can you run our blah blah blahs? Well, what am I going to get for running your shit? The shit that I have in my car right now works. Everything in my car works. So why should I put your part, your sticker on my car that already wins unless there's skin in the game? Don't give me that part or those things. Give me money. Don't hijack my program. Don't try to come in here and try to hijack what I got going on because I'm winning. And you're going to come in and give me something that cost you $100 to make. But if I keep winning races, what people are going to think that part is consequential to me winning. You know what I really want to thank? I want to thank the guy that made this box, this puke can. The puke can that has oil vapor, crankcase ventilation, and antifreeze in it. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have. Fuck out of here. I don't like racing, guys. This is what racing has become. And the problem is this. If you're blind to it, you love racing. If you are blind to the industry of racing, you love racing. You love to fucking go. I can't wait to go racing. Once you're in it and you see how people act and how people move, you want nothing to do with racing. Nothing at all. Shannon Dugan says, you're right, but I remember the Blue Goose lifting all four wheels made more than who won that race. That's probably the only exception. Actually, you know what I said when that happened? Junior was mad. Senior was mad. I almost had a fist fight. Ask Junior. I had to push a guy out of our pits because he was fucking with one of our guys. And I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm pushing some roly-poly motherfucker out of my pit that I have nothing to do with. But I guess I got to back up my boys. And I'm like, this is so stupid. But when that happened, I said, guys, this will be good for us. And Junior was like, what do you mean? I go, that picture, that thumbnail. Matter of fact, 1320 Didios actually posted that up as, again, somebody's failure ended up being their thumbnail. So they're like, whoa, look at that wheel. I'm like, trust me, it is the first time you ever saw a S550 do that specifically. And everyone called us stupid. I said, this will be good in the long run. In a weird kind of way, it'll be good in the long run. Look at, we're able to do that. Now we got those problems. Now we got to figure out the suspension. Crazy how we figured it out without any of the bullshit suspension that's out nowadays. Crazy how it works. Pure drivetrain is great for kindling someone's win. You know, all you got to do is scroll Facebook, scroll Instagram, and see who are the people that are trying to glom on someone's successes. Chance said they're already running that company's shit. Algorithm is doing good, man. My feed has been filled with tons of older videos I missed with the great knowledge. So, if you guys have noticed the channel, I've posted fucking 20 videos in like 5 days. Old shorts, old clips from this show. You know, so the keyway stuff. So I'm gonna make shorts. So the algorithm, I'm gonna try it for a month or two, probably 2 months, and see how it works. I have a lot more free time. I can do it from my phone. It's actually working. I have 2,000 videos I can pick shorts from and clips from the show that I do twice a week. And a video, a full-length 10-minute or so, or two of them videos a week. So it's going to be just a flood of small stuff, and we'll see the views are up, subscribers are up, money's up. So algorithmically, YouTube is wanting me to pump out more videos. Their Instagram, it's filled with it. Best we can hope for is Dodge will start being start the big three rivals again with the tunable Charger. Again, that is, I think, what people are missing from the whole equation. People see the EV Daytona. It's fucking gay. It's fucking idiot. There's no soul. Shh. It's quicker than the Mustang. That no soul having, heavy ass, jive talking, maricon motherfucker is quicker and faster than the car that Ford says is their best sports car. That piece of junk. So now they have learned a couple of things. Dodge has. We know this car's quicker than the Mustang as it sits. So the Hurricane 6-pack Outlaw has to be maybe close 0 to 60, but it has a better top end. The problem with the EV is it has a great start, good mid-range, dies out at the top. Imagine the Hurricane goes, okay, we're maybe not as aggressive on the hit, but we got all that top end, bitch. I got twin turbos and a straight 6 singing. And let's say the tuning gets opened up before Mustang tuning gets opened up. Come on, guys. Guys, get out of your feelings. It has an 8-speed transmission, switchable from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive, doing slide jobs if you want. Gay, whatever. Inline 6, twin turbos, similar to BMWs. Decent interior, I guess, whatever. And maybe tunable. You don't think that's a winner? If you, for whatever reason, can't see that this vehicle, in terms of layout, is more, it's all-wheel drive. It's all-wheel fucking drive. You don't think they're going to have some trans brake option? You're telling me Dodge, having the data that they have right now, you don't think they're going to make a trans brake option for this thing? 4-wheel drive? Please. But Alex, stickers and fluid change shocks, it makes my product profiting off of pain. Racing is crazy. Cruise alone, do a quick pull, go home. Viewer says, you're absolutely right. Dodge Charger's a thug car. Good car, but can't get behind a thug car. All thugs love the car. I get it. Jesus Christ. No one here is buying it. You understand? We're a Mustang channel. We're a Ford channel. And some of us have LSs that, and you maybe like the shit I talk because you want to learn Coyote stuff. But let's be honest. If this Dodge actually does something and is able to be cracked sooner than the Mustang, don't be surprised if it outsells the Mustang because of the highly configurable nature of the car. EV, straight 6 GT, Outlaw GT, and Outlaw 2-door, 4-door, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and maybe a Hellcat variant in the later years. It's going to be interesting. I love that you've been posting older shorts. YouTube pushes those pretty good. Don't care about the Dodge EV at all. It could make 3,000 horsepower. Don't care. Cool. Dodge cares, and Dodge gets data off of that, and that data gets disseminated down into their gas cars. Then you'll care. You know when you're going to care, Flat Kitten? When you're next to one. Fuck that Dodge piece of shit and your 800 horsepower rear-wheel drive Mustang at the light. And then you're going to go, oh, it's one of those gay, stupid Chargers. Race it. Race it, asshole. Oh, you won't? You're gonna do the signal light and take a right turn? Bullshit. No, you won't race it. Because you'll get smoked. Unless it's a mile-long race. Shannon says, people give me shit for selling my RCSB Whipple truck for my Plaid while they wish they could run 10s or better, and yet they don't own a decent car. The RCSB drove like shit, right, Shannon Dugan? A Beltec, whatever the hell, a suspension with Caltrac shocks, Caltrac suspension, say CAL, the way it's supposed to be, not glomming off of another name like a fucking cuck. How'd that truck drive? How about you going up a driveway? How about you just turning into a plaza? You ever get into... Go ahead, get in an RCSB and turn into a plaza. Oh, Jesus! Every fucking RCSB, every truck... My Cadillac don't do that. I go into a plaza and I go... RCSB? Oh, Jesus! Things all over the fucking place. Fuck that thing. Then he gets a Plaid that runs 930s, 60 to 130 in the 4s, 400-mile range, 200-mile-an-hour top speed, and you say he's a fucking homo? Yeah, okay, got it. Guy sold it for a better vehicle. C601 shot up $100,000 now. Okay, Dodge is fast. Oh, you mean the C601, gotcha. Dodge is fast tracking the 6-pack cars because of how much flop the EV is. Dealerships are doing huge markdowns already. Again, you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get the big picture. And you know what? That's okay. Because you're not in the industry like I'm in the industry. Nobody is buying Mustangs. Do you understand? Nobody is buying Mustangs. Like that. Why don't you mention that? Oh, Dodge is severely cutting back the... Nobody is buying Mustangs. The Mustang has no competition right now. There is no Camaro. There is no gas Charger Challenger. There is nothing. And on the American side. And nobody is buying it. Mention that. Yeah, they ride rough. Yeah, RCSBs are shit. Hey, Alex, I was wondering if you have an insight on the oil consumption issues on the Gen 3 Coyote. Having an issue with my 20GC, I probably blew it up. No, I'm serious. I'm kidding. Are you recirculating the PCV system? And I'm going to make a video about that. If you are, put a catch can in it that isn't a JLT catch can. Either, I can't tell you as a tuner to vent both sides because technically that's emissions, not emissions friendly. But if you don't want to consume oil, don't recirculate the PCV stuff. And if you do recirculate the PCV stuff, put a catch can in there. Get one of those Ford catch cans. I'm not even into cars much still, but listen, and I have an old 2012 Raptor that's paid off. Good for you. Good for you, bro. You're probably the happiest out of all of us. Turvey's Mustang can take down the new Charger. Outlaw rides like a truck, and then we slam them. Right. Plaid is why Mach-E and Charger are irrelevant. Alejandro says, R-Tower. Thoughts on CNG being used to fuel way more vehicles instead of electricity? Insanely low emissions, super low cost, abundant fuel source in the US. The problem is the filling station. If you have ever done a simple thing like change the propane tank on a forklift, it stinks. It gets cold if it hits the atmosphere, it gets super cold. So LNG, in terms of the filling process, I'm not 100% sure how they can make that more streamlined. I'm not afraid of like it blowing up because gasoline can blow up, or gasoline's very, very volatile. So the buses in Boston, a lot of them are LNG, but they fill up at the garage that they're serviced at. So the problem with LNG vehicles is the filling process, the bringing the gases to the stations, stuff like that. I think there was a argument as to why they don't do it. And it was an interesting argument. It was something about it not being worth it. Like dollar for dollar transporting LNG to a station, making the infrastructure would be just cost prohibitive. So I think there's, God damn it. Why aren't LNG cars more popular? Let's see what the AI says. LNG cars aren't more popular due to the infrastructure limitations. Okay, let me see. Okay, so this is what the AI says, and it kind of makes sense. LNG cars aren't more popular, primarily due to the infrastructure limitations and concerns about fuel availability and economics. While LNG offers more comparable fuel range to gasoline due to its higher energy density compared to CNG, the lack of widespread LNG fueling stations and the relatively high cost of LNG vehicles and refueling infrastructure hinder their adoption. The availability of LNG fueling stations is significantly less than the gasoline stations. LNG vehicles typically require more expensive fuel tanks and engines compared to traditional vehicles. Lower fuel efficiency, fuel price volatility, lack of consumer awareness and competition from other fuels. There you go, brother. It is probably more efficient to get an electric car than an LNG car, and it'll perform better. There you go. I think LNG vehicles require a different material for the valves, for the intake and exhaust valves. I think the piston. Okay, Jake one time received the motor, and he's like, "This part number is weird. The pistons are different. The intake and exhaust valves are different. Why?" He ends up finding out because it was LNG compatible. So the engine needs a more robust rotating assembly and combustion and a valve train to be able to take the LNG fuel. So there you go. Nothing replaces ease ABC use of gas pump filling. Compressed natural gas Honda made CNG gas Civics from 4 to 14. I'm in the EV industry. EV only sell because of the federal tax credit. Yes, but the Plaid does not. They are junk. I bought the last real Mustang GT, the Gen 3 S550, added an ESS, Luntune, by Alex. And can't be happier. CNG, not LNG. CNG? Compressed? Compressed natural gas? CNG? Even worse infrastructure-wise, and probably worse in terms of delivery. At least the last time the Mustang sucked, 3-valve, Ford sold a shitload. Now the Mustang sucks, and they're not selling. Okay, let's do a giveaway. Let's do a Star Trek giveaway. I'm gonna reference an episode where Data's cat had to get like inoculated for some genetic issue that it had. And what it did is that antibody or whatever spread itself all over the Enterprise. And it made everyone in the Enterprise devolve. Mark Anthony says, hey, Alex, I found a 14 GT Brembo car for sale near me. Place said it might need a PCM because it's stuck in cold start state. Whatever the fuck that means. 15K, 77,000 miles thoughts. Get it. What the fuck is cold start state? He's saying some dumb shit. So, in that episode, Worf bit somebody. Who did he bite? The devolved version of Worf bit somebody. Who did he bite? Let's go for a richprince.com shirt. You might want to get one of those Save the Manual shirts. Pretty cool. Someone said evolution, turn Spot into an iguana. So who did Worf bite in that episode? Let's go. Come on, guys. Who did Worf bite in the episode? Oh, Big Meech. Big Meech. Gets it. Big Meech. Before you guys start going crazy. Also, Toilet Dumper. Toilet Dumper. Sorry. Toilet Dumper won. My bad. I thought Big Meech had it, but Toilet Dumper beat him by like a millisecond. Congratulations, Toilet Dumper. He always puts a dot everywhere. So Toilet Dumper, email me, YDBT, the number 4 and the word life, YDBT4life @gmail.com. Worf bit Troy. And, as his mate, and she turned into like a toad. So congratulations, Toilet Dumper. Now, let's talk about what did William Riker devolve into. Go! Same episode. What did William Riker de-evolve into? Go! Let's go. What did William Riker started to become in that same episode for a richprince.com? Sure. Again, Toilet Dumper won the first one. We'll see what the people say here. Deanna, Timmy T, hit live, Timmy T. Holy shit. Hey, Barry McCockiner. Good job. Good. Someone said a liberal. Okay, Nick Perry almost had it, but Barry McCockiner. I really wanted to make sure that the members got it, but you guys got it really good. So, Toilet Dumper, probably consider becoming a member because, you're here all the time. And Barry McCockiner, caveman. That's right. He started to become a caveman. So, Toilet Dumper and Barry McCockiner, both of you email me exactly what you want. Go to richprince.com/YDBT. Show me what you want, the size, and give me your address. Send it to me in email, and I will get you guys taken care of. Congratulations. Do giveaways because you guys have helped the kid out so much. I really appreciate the shit out of you guys. Doing real well. So I'm going to get motivated to get more videos out there. So congratulations to Toilet Dumper and Barry McCockiner. Hey, give mine to Shannon Dugan. Oh, Shannon Dugan. Okay, Barry McCockiner says, give mine to Shannon Dugan. Shannon Dugan, hit me up, ydbt4life @gmail.com. Tell me what size, style, and shirt you want, or sweater, or hat, or sticker, whatever you want. I'll order it, and I'll ship it to you directly from richprince.com/YDBT. And I'll get it sent over to you. Congratulations. Good job. Look, you guys got to start watching Star Trek. If you want to win shit on Tuesdays, you got to start watching Star Trek because I that came out of memory. I didn't have to look that up. Bumble Swipes. Congrats to the winners. I know Rich Prince is a small company, but I'm still waiting on a shirt I won. Yeah, Blue Thunder, hit him up because I think I ordered it. I even asked them about it, and I sent you the shipping label, and I haven't heard back. They said, oh, we're in a rural area. Look, all I can do is order it. They took my money. I actually emailed them about it on Facebook. Said, hey, what's going on with this shirt? What's going on with this order? I sent you a screenshot showing you that I ordered it. So unfortunately, it's out of my hands. Toilet Dumper says, give mine away also. Wow, you guys are crazy. So I can't do that. Who the fuck? Who was the next person that got it after Toilet Dumper? I'll do that. Big Meech. Big Meech, do me a favor. Hit me up. ydbtforlife@gmail.com. So Big Meech gets it because Toilet Dumper does not want it. And Barry McCockiner gave it to Shannon Dugan. So Big Meech, ydbtforlife@gmail.com, ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Tell me what shirt you want, and you'll go from there. Much love, Mr. Cock. Wow. What's up, Alex? I'm late, but I'll watch later, says Rooster. So, you know what's crazy? I have not heard much at all when it comes to tuning availability for the 24 and up Mustang. And somebody said on one of the comments was like, oh, look, if tuning becomes available, you're going to be the first one sucking that dick. And I'm like, no. All it'll do, if the 24 Mustang becomes tunable, it'll just extend tuning. It'll just extend this job. I think if the 24 Mustang does not become tunable by 2026, guys, we're fucking 5 months into 2025. 24 Mustang's been out for over a year and a half. If tuning does not come out by 2026, meaning native tuning, I think you're going to see a big shift in what people do with the Coyote motor. You even saw someone like a Vaughn Gittin. Did you see one of the stupid spec shits? I'll go to Facebook. So let me see. What is it? RTR, I guess. Let me see. RTR. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Even the RTRs are not using Gen 4 control pack. Remember, guys, Vaughn Gittin has the kiss of Ford. He has the kiss. And listen, and again, you guys got to pay attention to the post. Read the post. A closer look at this abomination of RTR vehicle drift convertible for T-Pain. It features a 4th generation illuminator with a 3.0 Whipple supercharger and a Gen 3 Ford control pack. Wait. A Gen 3 Ford control pack. Vaughn Gittin has the kiss of Ford. And they can't get him a Gen 4 architecture to run the new car with. Think about that. Think about how bad that is, that he has the kiss of Ford and he does not have access to Gen 4 tuning. It had to go on a Gen 3 control pack on that abomination. It's in the Patreon, Theo. What are you talking about? Sluggish, idle, sound like I can test that thing. Michael Anthony. They said the idle doesn't settle and it feels sluggish. Wasn't sure if it's maybe needs a tune. Was going to buy it and do a lunch tune. You're going to buy it and you're going to diagnose the car. You should diagnose the car. You should datalog the car before you buy it. If it has a high idle, he's right. Slow 99 is right. Probably has a vacuum leak. And you might be able to get it cheap. Or throttle body stuck open. Check for codes. Go to the dealership. Check for codes. P2112. Throttle body. P2 something. Or a P0618. Or P2196. O2 shit. It might just be a bad sensor. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I have never seen. Okay. It is extremely rare that a Coyote computer goes bad. I repeat, guys, stop thinking, well, the computer went bad. Computer went bad. I'm around Jake all the time, the Lunds all the time, and I tune for a living for almost 10 years. In my 10 years and personal experience, I personally have never seen a bad Coyote computer. Maybe one that someone grounded and fucking set on fire. Hey, Alex, when are you going to make the Subs Racing channel? Never. I mean, drive it yourself, check for codes. Tune isn't going to fix mechanical issues. Exactly. Proactively ducking to avoid strays again. Damn it. What are you talking about? Oh no, not because the car's that color. Oh, you got to stop with the purple. You're with us now. No purple. No purple. Cobra46 says, Theo, a while ago I said this on the peasant chat. Cool. How much you want to bet the Camaro, Challenger, and Charger comes out and Ford decides to unlock tuning? Mark my words, that's going to happen. That is the only way. You got to put pressure on Ford. You're not pressing Ford. How are you pressing Ford right now? How is Chevy pressing Ford? How is Dodge pressing Ford? They aren't. So they're like, fuck him. Fuck the customer. This is what Ford said to the customer. Fuck all y'all. Tuning? Nah. Stupid Whipple. Hopefully your rotors won't rub. And Predator 55s and 20 pounds of boost and 16 cans of octane booster. Run 8s on the stock tune. Oh, sorry. The vetted tune. Okay, cool. Charger comes out. 6-pack Outlaw comes out. Some asshole runs 11.5, 11.6 in it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A stock Charger just went 11.5, 11.6. Yep. Uh-oh. Somebody unlocked the computer. They sent it out to Russia. Hell, if they can make drones fly into people, they sure as fucking unlock a Dodge computer. Oh, comes back. Oh, parameters are available. Diablo or some bullshit. Oh, look at that. We're able to raise the boost. Throw some 50% ethanol in there and then race gas for the other 50%. Oh, look at that. We got away with another 5 pounds of boost. Look at that. A 10-second car. Well, Mustang, you want to go 10? Put a Whipple on it. Thanks, you. I'll bring a code reader. 15,000 is cheap for a Brembo-equipped Gen 1. Absolutely. Ford can't even put the correct files on the server. I'm constantly having to do the hotline contacts to have them correct the server. Then every over-the-air update is causing modules to need a Tron authentication. Wow, you just went into the matrix. I don't know what the fuck you just said. But that is a thing that happens, guys. That's right. F-150s are doing over-the-air updates and reverting back to stock. We have seen it. Mostly Junior. Junior's seen it the most because he works with, like, you know, if someone hasn't tuned something yet, he gets it. You know, he vets it. And he's like, bro, is our tune in this thing? Yeah, I flashed it. I don't know, fuel tim's out of whack. Shit's fucked up. Reloader tuning it. Yep. Hey, can you check when it did an over-the-air update? Oh, look, it said it did an update like last night. So, Ford is, you know, now allowing these vehicles to do an over-the-air update with their stupid infrastructure, Sync 40 or whatever the fuck it's called. It reverts back to stock. It resets all the parameters. And all of a sudden, your tuned Whipple truck or twin turbo truck, now it goes back on a stock tune and you have to like disable over-the-air updates somehow. But Alex, you tell me guys can't tune around my Bobo mechanical issues? What the fuck? I want my money back. We should sponsor Turkey with a hashtag piece of shit. My PCM went bad in my 2012 Mazda Speed. Basically, forward, high idle and sluggish. Sounds like a booth maker tune. Parker Performance, rock that purple cuz. No purple Viper. I have their hero car. 01 Spec 5. Oh my lord, oh my lord. Thanks, Teal. I'll bring a code reader. Got it. So, the F-150 from 21 to 23 tunable yet? Yeah. 21 to 23 Gen 4 F-150s are tunable. Apparently, I was watching the Flying Wrenches channel. That guy's great. By the way, you guys got to watch. He's a tech. He speaks well, has a good microphone, gives you a ton of technical info. A lot of his videos are mostly shorts, which again, YouTube is pushing shorts. They're not paying you a lot, but if you want your channel to grow, they're prioritizing shorts. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all these technical videos that I've done in the past or videos that I do now and just make short versions, shorts videos out of them for about a minute so that you can be scrolling and watch that bullshit. So Flying Wrenches did mention that the Gen 4 F-150 does not seem to have a lot of oil pump failures with the belt-driven oil pump. So apparently, it's not a bad design. Gavin Jordan says, the competition is healthy and necessary. The stagnation is what causes the great manufacturers to make crap cars. It's what keeps capitalism going and products getting better. I'm going to be honest with you guys. After watching Trump today in Saudi Arabia, it makes me want to go to Saudi Arabia. Why? There's a lot of American culture fans out there. And there's a huge Mustang contingent in Saudi. There just is. I've seen videos of period correct Fox bodies with period correct modifications driving around you know, the really pretty areas of Saudi Arabia, like some of the town centers and some of the cities and some of the high rises. It's pretty crazy the growth that they have going on over there. I'd love to find like a group of Mustang enthusiasts that are like a Fox Body club, not a Hennessy club. Fuck me, you guys are lost. But like guys that get it. American culture is a thing over in Saudi. So after watching, you know, Papi Trump go out there and talk, you know, oh, they're going to give us $1 trillion worth of business. I'm like, fuck, man. It's almost like you feel inspired to like help out, but they don't need my help. I'm a nobody. It does over-the-air updates for the trans relearns. That's funny. These cars don't need to be like smartphones. Too much control. Dude, the R-wheel drive to all-wheel drive switchable is wild. Right. People are poo-pooing that. You're not understanding that I can do 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, slide job, drift bullshit, and do badass dig shit on a Outlaw 550 horsepower car. How much horsepower does the what's the highest horsepower B58 S58? I don't know what the good one is. What is the highest horsepower BMW puts out there that has the straight 6 turbo? Is it 550 horse or is it 600 horse? How do other tuners keep blowing NA Coyotes? So on Patreon, if you're a Patreon member, we went into the matrix a little bit today. I chimed in on some things that I think happens in the industry. So without getting into it too much, I think people get files given to them. Maybe they're not sucked off Lund files, but maybe they're Lund files that someone has access to. You know what I mean? And that person looks like a hero. And typically what happens is this. This is what I suspect happens. I've never tuned this intake. Do you know anyone that has tuned ID 2600s, PMAS 149, these cams? What are the proper cam angles? This plasma man with the short runner and this and that. Like I'm hitting some weird limiters and torques, and some guy goes, I just happen to have a file that seems to be running great. Really? Yeah, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about where it came from. So then those guys get given the files, not from sucking it off from a vehicle, but it just shows up. And those guys run a number. Or the guy, you know, the guy can still be in business. So it makes the supplier a usable person, meaning you need me. You need me to supply this stuff. So I think what happens is now when a change has to happen, that's when you get lost in the sauce. Let's say, for instance, you have a file that's vetted NACJ, right? NACJ vetted file. And then they decide to put a cam that you're not that aware of. They give you the specs and you go, I don't even know where to swing it. And that's where you get lost in the sauce. You don't have the fancy calculators. You don't have a good understanding of cam angles. You don't have a good understanding of duration. You don't have a good understanding if that cam is even a good cam for that application. So then they put it in and you go on the dyno and you try every angle on the planet and you are lost in the sauce. Whereas other people that have access to other things can put that into a calculator and an Excel spreadsheet and go, that cam won't work for that application. So I think that's where people start having issues with combinations that are NA. When they start to get exotic, when they start to get a little, you know, above their pay grade, which isn't much, a lot of people get lost in the sauce. Again, big combos, big power combos. I think a lot of files are out there that people have access to. I have my theories, but I talked about it a lot on Patreon today because I have a feeling that there is shenanigans happening out there, but I can't prove it. Let's get spicy tomorrow on Patreon. That'll be interesting. I can't give out too much. Base horsepower for the S58 is 473. The G82 M4CS is listed at 543. AJ says 523 in the S58 on the M3 comp. The M3 comp makes 523, about 500 S58. So the 6-pack, why can't I remember the fucking name? Outlaw is gonna have more horsepower than any BMW with a straight 6. 550, 500 torque. That's saying something. All-wheel drive. Hey, Alex, who'd you recommend to tune the Gen 1 F-150? I mean, we don't support it because it's whack shit, But if we can tune it, but what do you want to do, Mustang James? What do you want to do with an F-150, bro? You know what you do with an F-150, a Gen 1 F-150? You go fishing. You stock cold air, and you go fishing with it. What are you looking to do with a steel-bodied F-150? What the fuck are you doing? Sell it. Go fishing. Tow a boat. Dry stock. What do you want to do to it? What do you want to do with a Gen 1 F-150 out of all things? What do you want to do? Set the world on fire? Put a VMP Gen 3R in it and cams? No, the fuck are you doing, bro? Yeah, go to 5-star. Let them deal with that fucking headache. Fuck all that. We got Pretty Spicy in there today. Dixon says Ken's Couch. Bro, the references are fucking wonderful. You got to understand, the people on Patreon are inside baseball motherfuckers, and you should not cross them. You really should not cross them. Those guys will make your life hell if you cross them. So be real careful. And this thing collapsed. It's funny how Google seems to collapse after exactly an hour and a half. Very interesting. Pop out chat. And then put you here. And then we're back. We're back in business. I finally understood that OBS prioritizes everything. So if OBS is still going, keep talking, Alex. Outlaw, how much does the 6-pack weigh? I don't know. They haven't They haven't come out with figures yet. Let's not forget the S50 will make 700 wheel with a downpipe and an email tune. These cars should be poor man BMW with the tuned fuel. As right. Imagine the Hurricane Outlaw 550 horse, all-wheel drive, switchable two-wheel drive, can be tuned to with exotic fuel up to with a downpipe to 600, 700 horse. Come on. Fuck a Mustang at that point. Gen 1 F-150s are for cruising. Go tow an RV, bro. Can't even tune a 3-valve. What did Gavin Jordan say? Man, I feel lame for getting the wine mod after seeing you speak on it. I didn't know it could disrupt the MAF signal. If it's after the MAF in the tube, is it still causing disruptions? Think about it. Look at the MAF sensor as the first line of defense of MAF. M-A-T-H. The MAF sensor picks up MAF pounds a minute and a MAF frequency and the IAT. Listen, it picks up the inlet air temp. It picks up the density of the air and the frequency of the air flowing through it. That MAF has to then travel down to the injectors, through the throttle body at a certain angle. Then based on the math that the MAF sensor calculates, if everything's right in the tune, lets the injectors pulse a certain amount of fuel. If anywhere between the MAF sensor and the injectors, air is plumbed into the fucking cabin so that it can go whee! Now, all that is off. The air now does not go into the engine. The air now goes into the cabin through this little stupid fucking filter, and it makes a whining noise. And who knows if it bleeds out air in that process. And now the math is off. Not the math, the math, M-A-T-H. Oh, we picked up this much air, but right after it, some shithead diverted it into the cab. Oh, well, okay. Cool story. Unbelievable. I'm stoked about the Hurricane with the new Charger. In fact, I'm wondering how come Ford did make a new straight six. Twin turbo hybrid V6 EcoBoost Mustang. I said they should have done it a long time ago. Everyone thought I was stupid. Watch this Charger. Outlaw. Be badass. Elephant, switchable all-wheel drive game over. Yeah, Elephant. Oh shit, I didn't realize actually just straight up caused a vacuum leak. Is there any gains? Let's say max effort trumpet versus PMAS fender well, not on the road, 6130. I don't think so. No. If you have a fender well intake, now you have air in a essentially massive area being drawn into the intake properly, as opposed to being rammed, and now you have that turbulent airflow disrupting everything. Again, laminar airflow needs to be super smooth. Turbulence is never a good thing Never, ever a good thing in a MAF equipped vehicle. When he mentioned wine mod, I thought he got a new girlfriend. Audi is king of the 6 cylinders to the street to this day. Probably. Extremely gay. Audi is i5. How do I join the monthly nut chat? I'm in the basic one. You can go to Patreon, pay $15 a month there, or you can come in here and pay, $5, $10, or $25 a month to become a member. You see the cool little logos. Whoever has an EPA logo, OG. A lot of you don't. Garage Built doesn't. Paul Ponthieu does. Boy, there's a lot of non-members in this motherfucker. Nick Perry does. Minibep does. Ken's Couch does. FJG don't. Gavin Jordan doesn't. Slow 99 is OG. He's got Holly Haram. Merc Sang James. Sonic AMG became a member. Merc Sang James isn't. Connor isn't. Dixon is. Ken's Couch is. Bryson's OG. Joseph Roman is not. Zach Lopez is not. Wow, Smudgy Skills is not. Connor is not. AJ is. Marcus is not. Wow, we got a lot of freeloaders up in this bitch. We got to get some pay members up in here. The 426 is the Elephant. It's not the Elephant. The 426 is. They're not gonna have it's gonna be a V8. It's gonna be an NA V8. I don't think it's gonna be a Elephant. I think it's gonna be an NA fucking V8. I don't think it's gonna be badass. Chat, donate some Tony the Tio, giving you all the sauce for free. No, it's all good, bro. I'm just letting people know that a lot of people here for free. Revive the 200, 300 cubic inch inline engine. Missed the opportunity for marketing. Ford could literally put an Explorer ST drivetrain into a Mustang and it would sell. Do the stock airbox Mustang with the sound tube, not throw the math off because they account for that and the calibration. Bingo. Where Nardi at today? Oh, Nardi Mercado? Not sure. He was out. All these guys get active in the chats. What time tomorrow? What do you mean? What time tomorrow? Nothing time tomorrow. Oh, you mean on the peasant chat? I'm sorry, on the Patreon chat. I go live probably late at night, like 9:30 or 10, and I just talk shit live, just voice only, in the YDBT chat, which you cannot access. And if you're a free member, the only chat you can access is the peasant chat on Patreon. You need to pay $15 a month to have access to like fucking 10 other chats. Alex says, good cause. Trumpet intake is impractical. You got to bend radiators, remove latches, and shit for no horsepower. Coyote guys, the LT1 is going to gap mod for mod. No intake is going to make up for a 1.2 liters. I agree. I don't understand why people think that they can get a stock bottom end Coyote and think they can fucks with a modified 6.2 liter. Cam, heads, maybe stroker. Speed density, fucking throttle body open to the wind. You are not going to fuck with that car with an NA Coyote unless you gut it. And you guys know that you guys gut the ever living shit out of Coyote. A full weight Coyote NA ain't shit. It needs Honda tactics to make it go. Looking like a peasant chat. I'm a new member. Yes, talked about Dodge this whole time without the shiesty. Yes, sir, because it's not proven to be a shiesty mobile yet. Hide the money, there's poor people around. 350 elephants at the Dodge assembly line. The dude took pics of them on the pallets. They're going in something. Gavin, thank you so much for the money. So a sound tube delete requires calibration change. Not on a NA situation. It's probably off 3%. But the wine mod, that's not like scientific. That's stupid. People just drill a hole into a Whipple airbox. And then now the suction is pretty intense because it's a draw-through blower setup. And they usually do it after the MAF. Or what happens is, not necessarily an air leak, but you introduce turbulence into a sealed airbox. If you look at the Whipple airbox, it's sealed. So now you drilled a hole in it. And you plumbed a tube into the cabin. And now you're causing turbulence. And the car drives like shit. Look, every single time you guys do a modification, your car drives bad, stop thinking it's the tune. Did you put an RTR grill on it? Did you put a wine mod in it? Did you put a ram air hood on it and it has turbulent airflow going over the filter? That's the cause, not the tune. And Kenneth Gwynn gave me another $50 saying Peasant Chads on Sunday, donate or get them damn likes up. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys very much. Today we talked a lot about what the up and coming GT, Daytona, RT, and what's it called? Weapon? What the fuck? Dude, I can't remember the name of the fucking other... It's not weapon. Outlaw. Jesus Christ. It just absolutely blows my mind that I can't remember the word outlaw. And the outlaw variant, 400 horse, inline 6 for the GT, 500 plus horse, 500 torque for the outlaw variant, 2-door, 4-door, switchable 4 to 2-wheel drive. Be on the lookout for 2026. I think Dodge is going to be, making some pretty cool products. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday. That's right, all the way through Sunday. Look out for the shorts. Look out for the videos. Look out for the little clips here and there. I'm going to be just sprinkling it all day, every day. I'm going to try to make a video about PCV routing and how it can cause a leak. I think you guys will find that video on the interesting side. I'll try to prove it out in the data log just to kind of give you tips and tricks and keep the videos going, get the algorithm up, get me paid. Maybe get myself a Gen 5 Viper one day. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday for the Peasant Chat. See you later. Bye.